Happy wife, happy life. Happy husband, happy cooking. Okay. Okay. Happy wife, happy life.
When there is a breaking point in family conflict, fallout can leave long-lasting wounds. And this time, Atlanta fans of love and hip-hop were front row seats to an unanticipated implosion. His wife Yandy and his mother Judy were all under one roof trying to deal with their problems for years when what began as a family get-together devolved into one of the most horrifying scenes in the history of the show. Yandy and Judy's heads are butted. At first, everything appeared doable, but the atmosphere was tense. Hot words were spoken, and emotions were raised when Judy accused Yandy of being domineering. Yandy felt disrespected, and the fissures in their relationship were difficult to ignore. Started to boil over, and then, in a shocking turn of events, Judy slapped Yandy. The audience became silent as the seriousness of what had just transpired set in. Let's go back in time because this isn't just about one slap. It's about years of unresolved tension erupting all at once. Yandy stepped back while Mies froze, caught in the impossible position of having to choose between his mother and his wife. It was the kind of raw, unfiltered drama that makes you forget you're watching a TV show and not someone's real life unfolding in real time.
Rumors and stuff that what people saying is not true. This is what I've been saying the whole time. I don't know that girl. I just told her the truth.
From the beginning, Judy and Young's relationship has been rocky. Judy has never shied away from voicing her opinions, and she and Yandy frequently disagree on everything from personal limits to family matters. Over time, minor arguments became more heated because Judy frequently felt that Yandy was taking charge of her son's life and, consequently, her own. Yandy was a symbol of change and not always the sort she desired. Judy often accused Yandy of being rude, but Yandy believed Judy was going too far and would not accept her as Mendeecees' partner, much less the leader of their family. As a result, he found himself as a loving son. He wanted to respect his mother's feelings, but as a husband, he had to put Yandy's needs first. This balancing act was draining, and M was always mediating. Over the years, the tension between the two women he loved most, Judgment and Yandy, became a constant undercurrent in their interactions, building up to a moment that would test everyone's limits. Despite his best efforts, both of them frequently felt unsupported, which fueled even more resentment. The family had attempted to patch things up in the past, but those attempts frequently failed. On the surface, the gathering appeared to be an opportunity to settle disagreements, but the mood was anything but tranquil. What started out as a quiet family moment swiftly transformed into a scene that will never be forgotten. The discussion began politely enough, but when old wounds were revived, the tension spiked, and the scrub duty accused Yandy of manipulating Mendy and being disrespectful. Her role within the family as the argument heated up and tensions reached a breaking point, Yandy felt attacked and pushed back, wondering why Judy seemed unable to accept her. Then, in a shocking moment, Judy lost control of her anger and slapped Yandy, and the room went silent as everyone processed what had happened. It wasn't just a slap, it was years of pent-up anger and resentment exploding in one action. Despite the insult, I froze in an impossible situation. His mother, who had raised him, had crossed a line, but confronting her would have put their already precarious relationship at risk. On the other hand, his wife had just been disrespected in their home.
Happening for a while now. We have a conversation, guys. Oh, that needs books and confrontation. Two people that know each other.
But you just gonna let your husband somebody else? You told me. Why am I? Don't first of all, you know everybody in Atlanta and everybody knows him. That's not gonna talk to him. But I am. What are you gonna do?
When I saw that things couldn't go on, I took charge and calmed Yandy down before turning to Judy and saying, "You crossed the line. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the ones that require you to choose between loyalty and love." He informed her. Judy justified her behavior by saying that she had been provoked and that Yandy had treated her disrespectfully first. But for me, this wasn't about picking sides. Rather, it was about establishing limits. "I love you, Mom," he added in an emotional voice, but it wasn't an easy choice. But Mendeecees understood what he had to do to ensure the stability of his household, so he requested Judy leave. The gravity of that situation was evident. Judy bounded out, promising to remember. Asking his own mother to leave wasn't just a boundary. It was a heartbreaking admission that certain relationships demand tough love. He also sat down in silence after Judy left, the emotional toll of the incident written all over his face. Go on, but just because the dust has fallen doesn't mean that the wounds have been healed. The slap may have been the drama's high point, but Yandy's perspective on the aftermath left the Harris home divided. After Judy left, Yandy turned to her close friends for coffee to digest what had transpired, venting her aggravation after years of feeling mistreated in her own house. Shortly after her departure, Yandy was filled with a mixture of hurt and fatigue. "Instead," she said, "I've always made an effort to work things out for Em, but how many times must I act like the bigger person while she ignores me?" Yandy talked about how difficult it was to live with someone who was always watching her. It wasn't simply. Although Yandy was grateful that Em had stepped in to defend her, she couldn't help but wonder why it had taken so long. This particular episode involved years of feeling that Judy didn't respect her role as Em's wife and the mother of his children. After asking his mother to go, Mendeecees battled his own feelings and became enmeshed in a cycle of guilt. Although he knew he had made the correct choice for his family, it didn't make it any easier. In a private moment with a close friend, he declared his inner turmoil, saying, "That's my mom. She supported me through everything, and I know she only wants what's best. But Yandy's my wife. How can I let her feel unsafe or disrespected in her own home?"
I'll leave it. Okay.
Oh, with a kiss. Oh, okay. That's how you feel?
Living like a prisoner in my own house is never fun.
You know, it's kind of like that thing when you say Bloody Mary 3 times when they appear. Somebody in my house will say Bloody Mary 3 times because she appeared. Luckily, I have a booking in Houston so I can get out of this nightmare.
What you mean living like a prisoner?
It feels like I'm a prisoner in my own house. But anyway, I'm leaving to go to Houston.
Good, right.
Good.
I mean, good.
In my house, sitting on my couch, she said,
It's not your house.
Before I leave this house, you should give me a genuine apology.
I never apologize. I'm not doing no cartwheels for you and leave me the
For months, it was more than just picking sides. It was about juggling two roles, that of a devoted son and that of a supportive husband. The weight of his choice remained with him, making it difficult to celebrate the boundaries he had finally established on the other side of the city. Judy, on the other hand, was struggling with her own feelings of betrayal and loneliness, so she turned to her support network to vent over a glass of wine with a friend. She said, "I raised him. I've been there through thick and thin, and now he's siding with me. I can't believe this." Judy felt like her. The lap wasn't just about anger. It was about standing up for herself in a household where she felt unwanted. The drama didn't just stay in the Harris household. It spilled into the court of public opinion, and social media was ablaze with reactions as fans shared their thoughts on the situation. The place in my life was ending, and Yandy had manipulated the situation to push her out in her eyes. Many commended Mendeecees for finally taking charge and establishing limits, saying it was an essential step to safeguard his wife and children. One user commented that it was time for him to stand up. "Respect is a must, whether you're with your family or not." One more was added. "I understand her point. It's difficult to say goodbye to a child, particularly when you feel like someone else is taking your place." Arguments around family dynamics and limits in blended households were prevalent in Instagram postings and Twitter conversations. Some viewers questioned if going into exile was the best course of action. While some praised the tough love strategy, this episode caused many people to talk about their own in-law relationship experiences and the difficulties of managing loyalty. The drama of the Harris family highlights the universal difficulties of striking a balance between love, loyalty, and respect from Mendeecees. The decision to ask his mother to leave was an act of love for his wife, his children, and even for Judy. Though it may not have felt that way at the time because it prevented Grace from moving on with her life, and if Coy does fall in love with Grace, it will cause embarrassment in any relationship. Boundaries are crucial for maintaining. The road ahead for the Harris family is uncertain, but one thing is certain: this moment is a turning point. Whether it results in feelings or divisions depends on how they handle the fallout. Yandy's insistence on being treated with respect, Mendeecees' decision to take a stand, and even Judy's frustration all point to the same truth: love without respect leads to conflict.
I have been out and about, and I recently
As fans wait to see what happens next, the tension between Mendeecees, Yandy, and Judy has reached a breaking point, and future episodes will examine how they try to restore trust and move forward. People are already discussing whether there will be any reconciliation, whether Judy will take the first step toward mending her relationship with Yandy, and whether Mendy will be able to mediate between the two without causing any harm. Although healing the rift won't be simple, viewers will be watching to see if he can find a way to bring peace back into the Harris household, whether through heartfelt discussions about creating boundaries or just time. The future is unpredictable but full of possibilities, and this incident has had a significant impact on their family. Every conversation and encounter is now more dynamic and emotionally charged. Yandy may start to doubt her boundaries more than before, particularly if she encounters opposition to her efforts to keep the peace. Judy will also have to consider how her behavior caused a rift with her son, which may be more difficult to heal over time. However, what do you guys think? Did Mies make the right decision, or should he have handled it differently? Please share your opinions in the comments section.